Recently, Gypsy Rose Blanchard shared early DNA test results online to prove the paternity of her unborn child. However, many are now questioning the authenticity of these results, with some believing they may be fabricated. Gypsy has once again taken to social media, attempting to assure the public that her DNA results are indeed real. In this discussion, we'll review the entire situation, examine the test results, and explore why some people suspect they may be fake, as well as what Gypsy has previously said. Initially, Gypsy stated she would wait until after the birth to conduct a paternity test. However, on October 28th, TMZ reported that Gypsy had decided to take an early test. According to TMZ, Gypsy wasn't questioning Ken's paternity, but wanted to bring closure for her ex-husband, Ryan Anderson, as well as the public, to confirm that Ryan is not the father. About a week later, Gypsy shared the results on social media with a document labeled Non-Invasive Prenatal Paternity Test. It listed both her and Ken's names, with a paternity probability of 99.9%. Despite this, many are skeptical, citing several reasons they believe the results could be fake.
When I looked at this report that Gypsy posted and looked at the report that is available as a sample report to compare, this one does not match what is on the company website. And that's why they provide a sample report so you can verify that something is correct. Let me show you. This is the way that the report is listed on the website from the DNA Diagnostic Center, Prenatal Paternity Testing on Maternal Blood. It is completely different.
One issue that raised eyebrows was that when people tried to verify the results using Gypsy's reference number on the lab's website, it returned no information. Additionally, some were confused by the Ohio location listed on the results, as Gypsy doesn't live there. However, further investigation showed that the Diagnostic Center offers services worldwide. They facilitate testing through various methods, including at-home paternity tests and collection sites where samples are collected and sent to the main center for analysis. Gypsy even tagged the lab Fastest Labs, based in New Orleans, on her Instagram post, suggesting that this lab collected her samples before sending them to the Diagnostic Center. Another TikTok user pointed out potential discrepancies, including the notary stamp placement on Gypsy's results.
The second question was, if the parties take tests, do they have to both go in and get the test taken? No, they do not, because a test will be sent to them. So the woman would go in and get the blood drawn, and the man would get the swabs in the cheek, and it would be sent that way. So this is only alleged, educational purposes only. Did Gypsy swab her own cheeks? Because they did point out that if a woman did swab her own cheek and did a blood work, it would come out 99.9%. Is it common for a woman to fake one of these tests? Is it easy to fake one of these tests? Yes, it is. It's very easy. Is the notary in the middle of the signature or at the bottom of the signature? The notary stamp would have to be connected to the signature somehow. It cannot be below because people can copy and paste it.
While typically, the stamp goes through the signature, on Gypsy's document, it was below it. Additionally, the dates raised questions. Her samples were collected on October 28th, the same day TMZ published their article, and marked as received by the lab on October 29th. Fastest Labs prides itself on speedy results, but it's unclear if one lab simply collected the samples and then sent them to the DDC Diagnostic Center, or if samples were transferred physically to DDC. In response to the skepticism, the DDC Diagnostic Center shared a post on their Facebook page, acknowledging Gypsy's story and noting that their non-invasive prenatal NIP testing empowers expectant mothers by answering important questions with confidence and privacy. They linked a blog post titled, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's DNA Test, How DDC Helped Resolve Paternity Questions During Pregnancy, which explains NIP testing and assures that the process is safe. This story is still developing, and the public remains divided. Some see Gypsy's actions as proof of transparency, while others continue to question the results. The situation has sparked a broader conversation about trust, authenticity, and the complexities of paternity testing during pregnancy. Non-invasive prenatal paternity testing can be done as early as 7 weeks into pregnancy. It requires a blood sample from the mother and a cheek swab from the potential father. To ensure the test results are legally admissible, the mother and father can attend the appointment together or separately at one of the collection sites. The identities of both parties are verified during sample collection, and then the samples are sent to an accredited lab near Cincinnati, Ohio, where advanced testing is performed. The DNA is analyzed and compared, delivering results within 3 to 5 business days. One aspect that's drawn attention is the timeline on Gypsy's test. Her samples were reportedly collected on October 28th and received the next day, October 29th. Given that her samples were collected in New Orleans and then sent to a lab in Cincinnati, it's likely they were expedited for a quick turnaround. Whether this was part of an arrangement with Gypsy is unclear, but she did receive the results quite rapidly. After speculation on social media suggested she might be falsifying the test results, Gypsy posted a screen recording showing her opening an email from Fastest Labs with her results. Although the test indicates a 99.9% probability, some remain skeptical. Barbara from Straight Out of Context highlighted that non-invasive prenatal testing, NIP, can sometimes yield inaccuracies, raising the question of whether the accuracy matters in this context.
Here's the thing with that. The NIPP or NIPT testing is not approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration. And the reason being is because they are not accurate or reliable. And you can feel free to look into that yourself, but there's a lot of other issues that come along with this non-invasive type of testing while the baby is still in utero. And part of that is if the mother has health issues or has genetic issues, the blood test from the mother can actually cause issues with obtaining any kind of fetal cells that may be in there and isolating them to then test. But to go into that in a simpler way, it's also not admissible in a court of law. And for somebody like Gypsy Rose, who is going through a legal divorce, and it is presumed by Louisiana law that her husband is the father, and she has to go through these steps to prove that Ken Urker is the father, and probably have to amend the birth certificate after the baby is born, even if she gets a bifurcation, which means that they allow her to be divorced beforehand, like some states do allow. The divorce would not actually be fully final until after the birth of the child. But that all depends on what state you're in and whatnot. But the issue here with the NIPP or the NIPT is specifically that Gypsy Rose herself has a chromosome disorder. She has a microdeletion of a chromosome, and you can look into that. But there's other things that can cause issues with the NIPP and the NIPT testing, and that is why it is not largely used for an accurate result of who the paternity of that child is.
The timing has also been questioned. Gypsy completed this test in October, yet her due date is January, just a few months away. Since Ryan is still legally her husband, he will be listed as the father at birth until a court establishes paternity. This leads many to wonder why Gypsy chose to do this test now. Was it genuinely to satisfy public curiosity and provide closure for Ryan? Or could it be that Ken has begun questioning the paternity of the baby? Perhaps it was also done for added content for their upcoming Lifetime show. What are your thoughts? Do you believe the test results are authentic? Does it matter if NIP testing has accuracy issues? And what's your take on her sharing the results on social media? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and stay tuned for the next update.